training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners.
Team, welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Wheezy Shoemaker, and I'm joined as always by Justin McClintock. Today we're both wearing Feel Strong Blue.
It's true. I appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm also wearing orange shorts and green socks, so nothing makes sense.
Excellent. So we dressed in the dark.
No, I am doing this new thing to me called dopamine dressing,
Go ahead.
which is this makes me feel happy, and I don't care how it looks.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Totally.
Yeah, dressing for dopamine. Yeah. So we were just going into how we are doing before we introduced the episode, and I thought it would be useful to maybe put that on the pod IRL, if you will.
Yeah, let's pick it up again. I want to see where you're going.
First, how are you?
I am well. I'm excited because we think we found a dog walker who works great with Baloo. This evening, in a couple of hours, we have our last test walk. We were doing a couple of trial runs to make sure everything worked the way we want it to.
Yeah.
And everything's gone super well so far. Our dog trainer signed off on him. And assuming tonight goes well, we're going to take our first weekend away next week. Or it's not in the middle of the weekend.
Your
but a couple
first
days away.
ever weekend away.
Since moving to Providence. In whatever, 16
I'm being
months
facetious.
or something.
That's rude.
Mm-hmm.
Your first weekend away in 16 months. For anybody who maybe is jumping in for the first time today, can you tell us a little bit about Baloo?
Baloo is our dog. We adopted him from the Philly City shelter, the Pound. He was at least 5 years old when we got him. He had been brought to the Pound by a landlord who found him post-eviction, came in to clear out an apartment and was like, oh, there's a giant dog here. I guess I'll take him to the city pound, which is a reasonable thing for a landlord to do. He had also been adopted at least once from the Pound and brought back. And there was a note in the file that said, too high energy in the house. And boy, was that note accurate. Baloo is a 100-pound Argentinian dogo, D-O-G-O. Which is a breed I didn't know about until several people stopped me on the street walking Baloo and said, that's an amazing Argentinian dogo you have there. And I Googled it and pictures of my dog came up. And he's incredibly sweet and incredibly lovely, but gets very anxious outside. And moving made him very, very, very anxious. He really disliked the move. So we've spent 14, 15 months trying to make things better. And it's worked. It's just been slow. And the big hurdle we have is he hasn't wanted to let anyone else in the house.
Yeah.
And he gets, I don't think he would ever actually hurt anyone, but he gets big and scary and barky and jumpy. And that's a lot for a 100-pound dog with people who don't know him that well. So we haven't been able to go anywhere because we can't leave the dog. And we've brought him places before, we've brought him on vacation. And that makes him insanely anxious. He dislikes being in other places and is just worked up the entire time. A secluded beach house that's just ours. We bring the dog. It's going to be amazing. No, it's not. He can't be left alone. He's freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. He thinks he's being abandoned again. So that's Baloo.
Yeah. I am going to make an analogy, and I'm wondering if you have read the Harry Potter books. Were you a part of the generation? Great.
I was just a little bit old for Harry Potter.
Great. So I am in the Harry Potter generation. And of course, it was very, very, very big for my generation before we became aware that J.K. Rowling is an absolutely terrible human being. And so I have read all of them. I have seen all the movies. I was in line to buy the book as soon as it came out, that sort of thing. And I'm telling this story mostly for Lauren whenever she listens to this episode. Because Baloo reminds me of a character who is not a core character in the series, but I'm gonna tee up this character. So there's one character named Hagrid, who is the groundskeeper.
Yeah.
He's huge, massive. He is a giant human hybrid, a giant and a human got together and they made Hagrid. And at one point late into the series, Hagrid introduces his half-brother into the equation, who is full giant. And a full giant in the books is very emotional, has very poor articulation, is very needy and anxious, and has really, really big feelings and like basically a ton of brute strength and no way to control any of it. And so when you describe Blue's response to like new people and new situations and storms, and occasionally like he's interrupted episodes, I have always just pictured Hagrid's half brother.
Am I
Like
Hagrid in
this,
this analogy?
I guess you are Hagrid in this analogy.
That's not unfair.
So, Lauren, when you listen to this, let us know how you like that comparison. If that
Sure.
helps you visualize Justin's
Yep.
brute dog Baloo.
Rude dog who is such a sweetie and thinks he's a lap dog and like
Yeah.
curls and cuddles and rolls on his back and is just a delight
Right.
once he knows you're okay.
Right. He is double the weight of my 7-year-old.
Yes. And is absolutely is like, oh, is it time to sit in your lap? Come on. Great. How we doing?
Hello. Yeah.
No.
I was going to tell a story and I don't remember what I was going to say. Do you have any
Fascinating.
idea?
About what your story was? No.
Yeah, the whole reason that we started the episode before chatting beforehand, I said,
Oh,
let me
you
tell
were
this on the pod.
you had a
My crash out.
significant crash out on Monday. Yeah.
I did. So at time of recording, we are 20 days out from me leaving sustained for 14 days.
Right.
And I am feeling significantly more prepared now. I still have quite a bit to do, but everything is like well scoped and has a time slot. And so I'm not feeling like, oh my God, there's so many fucking things to do. Blah. There's a lot of stuff I'm not even aware of yet. I'm aware of most of it at this point. However, a lot of last week, I was treating it like walk around the space and notice friction. If there is something that I am able to manage well, that maybe another coach who is less familiar with the space would not be able to do. So, like, for example, the Ecobee thermostat didn't have like a cage around it. And it had happened a few times where somebody would bump it. And then that like it comes out of the wall and the AC and the heat stop.
Right. Sweet.
And so I put a thing over that, right? Like it's easy enough for me to say like, oh yeah, all I have to do is just plug it back in and it'll turn on its own in a minute. But like the big one that I wanted to get done on Monday before the small group started, which I had about 90 minutes to do, was I wanted to hook up my old phone, which was wiped, to only power Spotify.
Right.
Because the tablet that I use to coach and that also has Spotify on it is so old that the iOS itself takes up like 3/4 of the storage on the tablet. And it's old enough that it won't update stuff. And so sporadically, Spotify just won't work, which is not a big deal because I have both my phone and my computer that I can run Spotify on and play music while people are training. However, new coach in the space is not going to have either of those things. And so it was like, okay, great. I need something that is only hooked up to Wi-Fi, that doesn't have messaging or photos or like you don't do anything. And I also wanted the wallpaper to have the password to get into the phone, as well as the Wi-Fi password on it, as well as the Spotify login. So like, hey, worst comes to worst, you can figure this out.
Yeah, it's all there.
And I got in early on Monday and was like, I'm going to do this before class and it's going to feel so great. And it was much harder than I expected it to be.
Yep.
And Sasha, who is one of the members of the small group class who has been around a while because people have to graduate into that. They can't just show up and go to class. She is a doctor who practices like, I don't know what specific type of therapy she practices, but she's a therapist and a psychologist.
Okay.
And she got in early And she took one look
Saw you.
at me and was like, hey there.
Using Canva on your phone isn't making you look like this, right? Because that would be fucking crazy.
And she was a great help to me. She read me a little bit for filth in front of the group and was like, do you think it's possible that you are feeling so nervous about being out of control of what might happen on the trip that you are grasping for control straws now and making things way harder than they need to be? and and then she goes, and I see from the tears welling up in your eyes that I have hit a nerve. It's like,
oh, weird. Sasha has another half-mile run to do. Where did that come from?
Weird. That's crazy. Sasha has to do only split squat holds for the rest of class. That's crazy. That's wild.
Lashing out.
Yeah. So that was helpful because she was like, Wheezy, like, it's gonna be fine. Like, chill out. And
this could also be a post-it note. Like, I understand what you're doing, but like, this is so solvable.
Right. This is, and she was like, does she not have Bluetooth on her own phone? And I like short circuited.
No, I understand why you want it to be that way and you want it to work. And I think to be clear, I support this. This is the right move. And it's part of that move of turning it from Wheezy's space to sustained space.
Well, right. And I think that's part of it too, because like we're on the precipice of like, I'm bringing somebody on board and they will probably not be the only person to come on board. And like, it is not just I'm going to leave the country and leave my business to one person who's going to step into it for a little bit. But I'm thinking about this as like, oh no, like I'm setting up Sustained for other people to come in here and cultivate a career. But it did help to be like, oh yeah, there are definitely some places where I'm making this harder than it needs to be, where I can be like, that it's fine.
I'm lighting some fires to put out fires to prove that I can put out fires. I know, man. You're pretty good at putting out fires. I don't know if we need to do this, but if it makes you feel good, let's do it.
Right. And that kind of tees us nicely into the topic of our episode today, which is another place that she kind of peeled back the layers a little bit. And my partner who I play pickleball with asked me a really interesting question on Monday, which was the same day of this Sasha confrontation and this crash out in the morning. After we were done playing, we were chatting and he asked me, how long until you leave? And like, do you feel ready? And I don't feel as prepared as I'd like to feel for the physical event that I'm about to do.
Okay.
And I have done everything that has been available to me with knowing back-to-back sicknesses relatively like close to now, and having some really nasty post-exercise malaise and having to really dial back before I could re-up. He said, I don't remember exactly what he said, but something to the effect of like, do you feel like that's dangerous? Do you feel like that's a risk? And so the title of today's episode is Everything is Risky.
Boy, is it ever. Yeah.
Boy. Because I want to be really clear, like, I am nervous that I might not be able to hang. Like, I know that there are going to be two groups, and one of them is going to be the more athletic, like faster paced of the trek. And there's going to be a second group that's like a more conversational pace, chiller, lower entry point. I'm almost certainly going to be in that group. And I'm nervous about what if my physical preparedness is not where it needs to be to take on what I'm about to take on. However, we know that literally everything is risky. And I want to take a second because I think like this headspace that I'm operating in of I don't know if I can do this and it's happening anyway. Like the train's going to leave is a space that a lot of people look at from a horizon vantage point and never step into because they're afraid of what if.
Yes.
Right. There is, spoiler, there is exactly one guarantee in this lifetime. One. And it is that at some point you will die. Like no one's getting off the ride.
Yeah, it used to be death and taxes, and then Jeff Bezos was like, bet.
Nah.
So now all we
Bet.
know about is death.
Right. So I thought we might take a little bit of time because I have some statistical probabilities of risky things that might happen.
You're going actuarial on us?
Shocker. I do have some actual research that I put together for this.
It's
And then
I have to. I can't not.
please
Like,
go ahead.
we have this big, interesting, emotional topic. Wheezy's like, can I describe this with numbers? Kinda. And that's an important part of it. But we're also going to talk about like the emotions of it.
Yes. Certainly. Yeah, that's on Wheezy being Wheezy.
Yeah.
You want me to talk about my feelings? Well, here's the
I brought a
statistical
graph.
probability. Do you need me to make a list?
Yes. My feelings, a spreadsheet.
Right. So something that, like, trying to bring it back to the scope of what we're talking about here in very broad strokes, which is related to fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, coaching, etc. Something that I hear and that I imagine you hear is that it's not the right time for me to financially do this.
Yes.
Right.
A million times.
I can't do that right now. I need some more money to free up. Right. Or it doesn't even necessarily need to be related to something like hiring a professional, but it could be like taking the family vacation that you have put a pin in every year for the last 12 years, or doing something that you know would lend to your quality of life that costs some money that makes you feel scared.
Yeah.
Rather.
And it's always the next, I call this just over the next dune status, which is a Spaceballs joke, or that's where I pulled it from. But it's always like, are we there yet? Oh, it's just over the next dune. You said that 3 dunes ago. Yeah, I know. And it's always like, oh, yeah, I feel like next month is really going to be, next year's, well, when the kids are out of school, when the kids go back to school, well, when I get my yearly review, well, when I get when
I retire.
Things, yes.
Right.
The time is going to be right so soon, and then I can pull the trigger.
Right.
And like most of the time, these people are not to be argued with because it's not that they're wrong, but they don't believe in it enough.
Right. So pertaining directly to the money, we have a greater chance of becoming a millionaire in the US than filing for bankruptcy.
Really?
Really. You have a 7 to 10% chance of becoming a millionaire in the US. However, worth it to note that only 2% of adults under 30 are millionaires, with over 25% being true 50 and older.
So like at some point in your life, becoming a millionaire.
Correct. Right.
Interesting.
Whereas you have less than a 1% statistical probability of filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah, okay,
that doesn't mean
makes sense.
Being
I was going to say, I have been dirt poor and scared and not filed for bankruptcy, but yes, I understand.
Right. Less than a 1% statistical probability of filing for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So if I look at it that way and say, well, actually the evidence supports that I may be doing better than I think, what's the cost of not doing the family vacation, hiring the coach, putting extra money into a college fund that I'm not going to see right away, right? Like, you have a greater chance of succeeding than you do of being destitute.
Yeah.
So act like it.
Yeah. Like there is a way forward. There's a bunch of ways forward. It's likely we're going to keep moving forward. And you believing in that is a key factor to it actually happening.
Right. On a much more scary standpoint, globally, the cancer risk is 1 in 4, with numbers in the US being quite a bit higher. 40% of women and 40% of men, 39% of women. However, 90% of diagnoses occur after 50 years old, right? You have a much higher risk of being diagnosed with cancer than you do of either being destitute or of making it really, really big and becoming a millionaire.
Mhm.
And so if we know that's true, what are the boxes that I can check to try to bring that percentage down for me as low as it can go?
Yes, I think that's fair to a degree. I mean, within reason, as with all
Yeah,
things.
poke holes.
Yeah.
Poke some
Well,
holes in it. What I can feel that there's
I get really suspicious of people who the blank is a carcinogen
sure.
is also really rampant in kind of the wellness community. I had some
Sure.
pardon me, I had some fucking Yahoo telling me about how sunscreens cause cancer. You're like, no, they don't.
Mhm.
I said, oh, well, this ingredient actually, after a certain amount of time, turns into this ingredient, and that's toxic. I said, yeah, that's right. In what fucking dose? They said, well,
Yeah.
and they won't answer the question. And
Yeah.
yes, that thing is carcinogenic. Yes, you would have to eat 4 bottles of the shit for it to have a potentially have a carcinogenic effect. Putting
Right.
it on your skin doesn't do that. Stop being so stupid. Is those people will argue that not using, and often it's not using this sunscreen, using my special beeswax sunscreen or whatever garbage they
Right.
put in it.
Right.
This will lower your chance of cancer. And if you spend, and I think this might be partly where you're going, or at least a bit of it. If you spend your life trying to not get cancer, you're going to spend your life sitting still under a blanket in your bed, not enjoying anything.
Right.
I don't think we should go play in the radiation pile. I don't think we should hide
Right.
under a blanket. There's a middle ground.
Right. That is exactly where we're going. And I have a couple more statistics to share, and then that isn't exactly where I'd like to go. Heart disease is a leading cause of death, responsible for 1 in 5 deaths in adults. We have some pretty tremendous knowledge to support that there are a lot of things we can do to prevent getting heart disease. You can't change your genetics, but you can change a fuck ton else.
Yep. And
right?
most of the stuff that involves trying to minimize the risk of heart disease has tons of other benefits in the rest of your life.
Right. Right. Something that I have been tethering to, this is my last statistic to share, is that my statistical risk of dying while hiking is incredibly low. Approximately 1 in 15,700, or about 4 deaths per 100,000 hikers annually. I am actually significantly more likely to be injured on the drive to the trailhead than the actual trail, because we have a 1 to 2% risk of a fatal car incident.
The car thing is always a great thing to bring up around risks because car
Do you drive?
culture and commuting has been so normalized. It's like the most normal thing to get in a car and go somewhere, often at remarkably high speeds. That's totally normal. And when you bring up accidents, people are like, well, yeah, it happens. Like, but what are you like? That's part of the risk. I need to do this thing. So it's fine. I don't disagree with that to a large degree. Can we bring that mindset to the rest of your life, please?
Right. That's exactly where we're going, because the point of this is that almost everything that you do holds a degree of risk. Everything. Going to sleep at night, waking up in the morning, drinking coffee, drinking juice, driving or ride sharing or biking or walking to work, sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day, deciding that you want to strength train, deciding that you want to take a trip, deciding that you want to invest in a new startup, right? Like, all of these things carry risk, even right down to the minutia of, like, I have a Diet Coke basically every day.
Mm-hmm.
There would be people on the internet who would shout at me about the aspartame.
Yep.
Right? Like, everything can kill you. And the only thing that is true in this lifetime is that you will die.
Yes.
So, since you cannot escape risk, the goal isn't necessarily to intentionally, like, charge into the direction of risk, but to take asymmetric risks.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is calculated decisions where your potential upside, whether it's growth, whether it's joy, whether it's success, whether it's money, whether it's experiences, far outweighs the potential downside.
Completely.
Right? So we could apply this to literally anything. But as I'm simmering over what I'm about to do, right? Like, there is a risk that things go wrong at sustained while I am not reachable.
Yep.
There is a risk that maybe something goes so poorly that I lose a client, or that the coach decides, no, I actually don't want to come on board. I think both of those things are extremely unlikely because of the prep and thought that I've put into building here.
Yeah.
And the potential upside is the joy, fulfillment, enjoyment I'm going to take from a literal mountaintop experience.
Yeah, completely. I think that's a really important part of a lot of this risk, because you described, I think rightly, that the risk is involved with doing any of these things.
Anything.
There's also risk with not doing any of those things. What are
Right.
you, if you don't strength train, if you don't pay attention to your diet, if you don't adjust your sleeping schedule, if you don't go to therapy, if you don't do all of these things because there are risks, cool. What's the other side of that?
Right.
Because there are risks with not doing that stuff also. And that's that asymmetry you're talking about, is we need to balance this. Like, of course, there's risks with everything, but if the upside is better than the downside, which is the other side of that risk, it sounds like a green light to me.
Right. Like, and then to think of things from the opposite side, potentially, like, this can be a really useful framework to govern, is this too risky, or is this just the right amount of risk, right? Like, I would really like to have more hours in the day so that I can do more things. I'm not going to go and take cocaine so that I can act like there's more hours in the day, even though that would probably allow me to get quite a bit more done. But then I have a very strong chance of becoming addicted to cocaine. That is an asymmetric risk in the wrong way.
Yes.
This isn't going to be a particularly long episode, but I think, like, encouraging people, particularly people who feel like they're stuck and they're on this hamster wheel of, I can't possibly do that, or that sounds scary, or that might give me cancer, or that costs $1,000 more than I had planned on spending for this X thing, right? Like, what is my potential upside from this? And what is the cost of not doing it?
Yeah, it's a really big one. And this comes up a lot. I was just talking about it recently with pain and injury and kind of a lot of return to activity, even return to fitness. Even like, I used to think of myself as really fit. A bunch of life happened. Now I'm trying to get back in and it isn't working. I keep getting hurt and oh my goodness. And people will often give up. Or I had a client recently basically present to me, not her fitness program, but some other stuff she wants to do. I think I should give up on this. Like, it's too hard. It's not working. I keep getting hurt. I shouldn't do it. And I gently was like, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I truly am not. But you've described this as important and fulfilling, and the reason you're making time in your social calendar, and how good it feels, and it's challenging and it's exciting. And isn't that the fucking point? Isn't that what we're doing all of this for? Like, why would we avoid all of those things to stay still and make really sure we're not going to get hurt? Am I telling you you're not going to get hurt by doing these fun activities? I am not. We are going to do everything we can to minimize it. We're going to talk about dose. We're going to talk about capacity. We're going to talk about setting boundaries so you don't get sucked into more than you want to get sucked into. But that's the point. And that's the reason to do the stuff. And that's what part of what we're working toward, I hope, is that your life is better and more fulfilling. And you can say yes to all the things you want to say yes to, not, well, if I never go outside again, I definitely won't get hurt. Yeah, but
but at
maybe.
what cost?
And even then, exactly. Then you like trip over the coffee table, knock yourself out, and someone finds you in 3 weeks after Bolu ate you. Oh well.
He would.
Yeah, like quickly too. Like, hey, bud, can you call 9? That's my foot, buddy. But what are you doing? But the like remembering that in every situation where there's risk, especially every situation where there's fear and hesitation, that's where all the opportunity is, man. The stuff where it's
Right.
a little bit scary and a little bit challenging and a little bit out of your comfort zone, maybe not way out of your comfort zone, right? If you're like, I want to get outside and do more activities, I wouldn't start with base jumping. I'm not saying we can't get there, but
Mm-hmm.
why don't we go for a slightly challenging hike and see how we feel about it? And we'll
Right.
build up to base jumping. But
Right.
avoiding all of that stuff just because it's a little scary, just because there are some risks involved, you are shutting out a lot of the fun and a lot of the beauty and a lot of the sort of rapture of life, as well as a lot of the progress and a lot of the growth for yourself.
Right. Right. That's what I want truly the takeaway of this episode to be, which is that the most, call it successful, call it fulfilling, call it enriching, whatever you want to call it, that path is born out of taking a chance despite inherent uncertainty. Everything is risky. Everything is a risk. So, what are you not doing that you want to be doing because you are concerned about what might happen if you fail?
Yes. Yeah.
And
What are
and
you avoiding?
what are you avoiding? Another way that we have asked this in the past is, where am I in my own way?
Yeah. It's a really good
Right?
one.
And using data to support being in my own way. I do this all the time and
I
get
have a story from yesterday about doing this.
and like it can feel like you're then doing the smart, conservative, ethical pathway when in
Mhm.
fact you're just standing in one place patting yourself on the back like, good job, you're doing it, you're avoiding risk, great,
Yep.
you're not going anywhere, but you're not in danger, friend, you're in danger of staying still your whole life, do
And missing
something.
so much. Can I tell you this thing that happened yesterday? It's like a tiny bit of a downer, but I think useful.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna share and I'll make sure that I edit it out. I I super pinky promise I'll edit this out. So I lived in New York for 11 years, have a whole
Yes.
bunch of theater friends, tech friends, stuff like that. One of them, a dear, dear friend of mine, she was my assistant on every project I ever did for like 5 years running. Like,
Yeah.
I got a gig. I called her next and said, "We just got a gig." And she said, "Great, what are we doing?" Incredible, incredible human being, runs a Broadway theater now, brilliant. Put a thing up on social media yesterday that her mom died, like a day or two ago, and she was really tight with her mom. Her dad died a couple years ago. That really broke her up. It was really hard. Now her mom just died. So I sent her a message. Said, "Is there anything you need? Like, do you want me to do anything, facilitate anything, buy anything, send anything? Do you want a phone call? Can
Yeah.
I wrangle people for you? Like, is there a thing?" She said, "No, you fucking dummy. I took care of everything. What I would like to do is hang out. So if you have like a chance to hang out sometime, that would be cool."
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, let me work on it." And my wife came home that night and I said, "Hey, so and so's mom died." She said, "Oh no, that's terrible." I said, "It is terrible." I was thinking I would like go to New York for lunch or dinner someday and like hang out with her for a few hours because she asked. And that might mean staying over in a hotel depending on schedule, but whatever. And my wife, of course, was like, "Yeah, dude, of course, do whatever you want." And it hit me like a fucking freight train that I I would not have done that. I would not have said, "Oh, I'm gonna go like meet this person and maybe several other dear friends who still live in New York and are around
Yeah.
for like a lunch and a dinner and make a day of it," because it's not easy and it's kind of illogical and
Yeah.
it's probably going to be like $600 to like get there and
Yeah.
stay there and come back or maybe more. I can afford that. I can't do it every week, but
Yeah.
that's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And my wife is totally down and like not only it's not that she doesn't care, she's supportive of it and thinks it's a good
Right.
idea. It's like, well, why does it take death for me to,
Why don't I just do that?
yeah, like a couple times a year, be like, "Hey, I'm going to swing in and like see some people. Are you around? Oh,
Right.
you are and you aren't and you are and you aren't. Great. I'll see the people who are and I'll see the rest of you next time.
Right.
Sounds good to me." Like, so much opportunity, so
Mhm.
much upside,
Right.
basically no downside.
Right.
Like, no one even knows when I leave for a day in my business. Like, I'm
Right.
just like, I'm somewhere with some Wi-Fi. It's totally okay. And it was it was really one of those moments sitting on my couch where I was like, you fucking dummy. Why does it take,
A death.
why does it take tragedy for you to show up and hang out with your friends? Why? Maybe
Right.
get ahead of this a little bit.
Can I share how I learned that lesson and executed on it without somebody perishing?
You can share it, but I'm definitely going to edit this out.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. You edit out. What if one time you just did an edit where you edit out everything that I say? And it's
But leave
just
like the first second, so it sounds like I'm just cutting you off constantly. Where you're like, but, and then I'm just talking again. Yeah, actually, Weezy, that's a really good point. I would do a bunch of those, a bunch of like voiceovers where I'm like, actually, Weezy, I know where you're going. I think we need to change tack a little bit. Let me take this one. But
that would be a really good April Fool's edit.
yes, maybe.
File that
I'm glad
in your cap.
9 months away or whatever.
Right. So you know that I am a Noah Khan fan.
Yes.
And you might not know that he is on tour right now.
I am aware he's on tour.
Excellent. He is on tour.
People were being mean to him.
People are being mean to him?
There was some kind of thing on like
Let
his
me add him.
first show. The
I'll
first
do
night,
it.
first show, there was some complaints about his set list. Like, well, I can't believe he played this and I can't believe he didn't play this. And dude is so famously like online, he's a terminally online musician who really cares
Sure.
about his fans and lets them get, I'm going to say, a little too close. And apparently like really fucked him up.
Yeah, he did add, that's true. He did add Willing and Able, which is a very emotional, very personal song, to the set list.
He got bullied into it.
Yeah, you actually know more about that than I do. I knew he added it and I knew there was controversy, but now I know why. I am a fan. I am not nearly as parasocial a fan as I am with Taylor Swift. I really wanted to see this tour. He only has one stop in Cincinnati, like date and proximity to me where it would be not a big expense to go. However, it's literally this upcoming Wednesday and it's a Wednesday. Cincinnati is on a good day, a 90-minute drive. On a bad day with a ton of traffic after a massive concert, way longer than that. Probably have to stay the night. Then probably have to cancel clients the next day. That ends up costing me like on top of the ticket, like $1,000.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, all right, I just won't. And I reached out to somebody who I knew got tickets after the fact, and said, hey, how did you do this? And she said, he has implemented a policy where all ticket resales that are happening on Ticketmaster have to be face value. Like, you cannot go above face value.
That's awesome.
And in the couple of states where like artists don't have the ability to make that call, Ticketmaster is honoring it. And so she was like, so just like religiously be refreshing Ticketmaster, and at some point you might get tickets somewhere.
Yeah.
And so earlier this week, I was doing exactly that. It was a morning that Walter woke up at like 4:15 in the morning. He came down to tell us I have to pee. I'm like, just fucking go.
You
What
don't
are you
need
doing?
us for this.
You don't need us. But he woke up, he was scared, and I have to go pee. Do it. But then we're awake. So, of course, I'm refreshing Ticketmaster. And I happen across a smattering of tickets in Pasadena, California at the end of the summer. And I immediately am like, do I have enough Delta points to pay for my hotel and my flight? And then clicked that I, in fact, do. And said to Ted, hey, I think I might go see Noah Khan in California at the end of the summer. And as the day unfolded, invited a client who I've never met in person who lives about 3 hours from Pasadena. And Jackie, who is Sustain's remote coach, like, hey, do you want to go to the show with me? And then it becomes this incredible, like, team building activity.
Yeah.
That, yeah, I still bought the tickets and I paid like $1,000 for 3 face value tickets, but our accommodations are free. My flight is free.
Now it's kind of a business write-off?
Mhm. Allie, if you're listening to this, cannot confirm or deny, but it ends up costing less than it would for all the accommodations I'd have to make to go to the show in Cincinnati and all the
Yeah.
stress that might come with. And it's on a Saturday evening, so I'm flying out Saturday morning, I'm flying back on Sunday. It
Yeah.
won't affect anything except for my nuclear family. And I am so excited because nothing bad had to happen for me to do it. And I was just
Right.
like, this tour will end and someday I'll die. I should go see NoahCon.
Yeah. I should do it. It's gonna be fine. Drink the fucking milkshake. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes.
So, like, it would have been really easy to talk myself out of that because we have just, like, we're on a really good trajectory, both as a family and as a business, financially, and we'd
Mhm.
like that to continue. But, like, God, if you have these piles and piles of money and don't ever do anything with it, like, grow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, what's the point of money? Like,
Honestly, what's the point? What's the point? The perfect scenario would be to spend your last dollar on your last day. Like,
that's absolutely what I'm aiming for.
I intend to squeeze all of the juice out of however many years I have left.
Yeah.
And if there's a takeaway from this, we would encourage you to bring a little of this asymmetric risk, right? There might be risk. My plane might crash on the way there. That might
Mhm.
happen. And I am willing to believe that the positives that will come from taking members of the team to go see NoahCon in Pasadena and spending 36 hours in real life together, laughing and crying and bonding and laughing more, is far worth the potential risk. And so take a look at your life and at the things that you are closing a door to that have some real glimmers on the other side if you would give them a chance.
I think 100% I support all of that. I also think it's possibly important to say that it's very unlikely that other people are going to do this for you. Because
Mm,
if you had said, "Oh, no cons in," I mean, the Cincinnati thing is crazy and just logistically unworkable. I saw some tickets in Pasadena, but that's going to be like the way I would want to do it is going to be like $1,100 and a couple of days, and it's crazy. Nobody would likely say, "Oh, but you should definitely do that."
right.
Everyone would say, "Oh yeah, that is a lot. I
Yeah,
get it,"
that makes sense.
because everyone's assuming that it is trying to be supportive and wants to keep you
Right.
safe. And it sounds like you're keeping you safe, so I'm going to help keep you safe.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
You are going to have to make the leap. You can. There were people who will help you. You're listening to two of them right now. There are people who are like, I will walk people right up to the edge, but I can't jump for you.
Yeah.
If I could, I would, but it's not. I can't do it. I can't make you do anything. Even if I could, I wouldn't, because that's not going to get you to the place you want to go. Honestly,
Right.
so creep up to the edge, take a look, think about it. We're not telling you to be brash, but
Right.
where there is risk, there's always opportunity.
Yeah. And it's deciding if, like, where on the scales does that fall for you?
Yeah.
And where yours falls might not be where mine fall, and that's also okay.
What's the worst that could happen? Okay, what's the best that could happen? Cool.
Cool.
That sounds worth it.
What's
Let's do it.
what's the likelihood of either one of them happening? Oh, well, it's a 1% of the terrible, awful thing happening and like 98 and change of the great thing happening.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Where
Go.
else in my life am I taking bonkers risks for very little reward? Maybe this is a place I should take a little risk for a lot of reward.
Right. Right. So that's everything is risky.
Yeah, I love it.
Take some risks. Do it.
Please.
Tell them we sent you. Justin, what segment do you have prepared for us?
I have prepared a segment, in fact. This segment is called Castaway. It is legally dissimilar from something I suspect you don't know, but I will explain to you.
Wilson!
Nope. Well, kind of. There's a program that's been on BBC Radio forever, for like 50 years, called Desert Island Discs.
Doesn't mean anything.
This
to me.
is not that. This is legally dissimilar from Desert Island Discs. This
Okay,
is
great.
Castaway. You are stranded on a desert island. You are going to pick 8 audio recordings you get to bring with you. They are vinyl records. I'm guessing it's going to be music, but it could be like an audio recording that you care about or something. You are also going to get to pick 1 book and 1 luxury item. The luxury item is just something that you would be nice to have. It's not going to help. There's no way it can help you get off the island. It's not something you need to survive. It is a completely, let's call it facetious, maybe it's not, but something that you would like to have. Often on the BBC, it's fairly common for people to pick like piano. I want a piano. That's my luxury item to have on a desert island.
What?
Yeah. Stranded alone.
Do I have like hair ties?
That's not a luxury item.
Well, it is if I don't have them.
No, that's a very basic item.
All right.
You're surviving. You have food, you have shelter.
Do I have electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine.
Got it.
You're going to be able to play these audio recordings.
Okay.
So you're going to bring 8. You also get 1 book and 1 luxury item.
8 vinyls.
Mm-hmm.
So that means the whole album, not just.
Correct. You don't just have to. We're not sending you off with singles.
Can I have an album that was never released because Taylor Swift has failed in this one particular instance?
Again? Yes.
Okay, great. So my top choice is the Midnight 3 a.m. edition pressed vinyl, which does not exist because she released an album and then several hours later, surprise, it's actually a double album. And the double album does not exist as a vinyl. And it is my favorite album. But I really, really, really love the things that are on the 3M edition. So that's number 1. Number 2, I will say let's do the Campfire Smoke edition of Noah Kahan's A Great Divide. My next choice would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack. Volume 2. Important. Volume 2.
I did not see that coming.
Number 4 would be the limited edition orange pressing of Reputation, a Taylor Swift album, of course. Number 5 is an album I possess. It is the Long Pond Studio Session Folklore, also Taylor Swift. You
got 3 more.
I got 3 more. I'm counting as well. I would like the newest Kendrick Lamar album.
The GNX?
Yes. I'm looking up the name of this album. That's 6. Yes.
You got 6. You got 2 more.
I have 2 more. Homesick by A Day to Remember. And then for my 8th choice, mostly because it is 30 songs long, I choose Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. So we have a lot of Taylor Swift.
There's a lot of Taylor Swift on that. It's true to character.
And A Day to Remember and Noah Kahan and Guardians. I mean, that's basically the bulk of what I listen to. Anyway, that's like my Spotify. It's like, would you like Taylor Swift or more Taylor Swift?
What's your book?
My book is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Which I could read over and over and over again.
And what is your luxury item?
I think my luxury item is like a fancy ice maker.
Ooh.
Like the kind where it's like kind of crushed. Like not big cubes. Big cube bad.
Are we talking pebble ice?
Yes, I do need there to be pebble ice.
Pebble ice maker. Solid on a desert island, honestly.
Yes.
So we have reviewing. Please correct me if I missed anywhere because I have like some kind of scratchy notes here. But midnight 3 a.m.
Midnights
Midnights.
with an S.
Midnights 3 a.m. Taylor. A Great Divide. Noah Khan. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
The Great Divide. The Great Divide.
The Great
Sorry,
Divide.
I'm getting hung up on semantics.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
Reputation, the orange version. And and in case anyone's confused, like it's physically an orange album. It's the Reputation album.
It's physically an orange album. It's not see-through. It's a very limited pressing. If you wanted to buy it right now, it's like $5,000.
What's the Long Pond one? Long Pond Studio?
The Long Pond Studio Sessions recording of Folklore, the album. She released Folklore and then later did like a acoustic recording at Long Pond Studio in New York, and it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
GNX, Kendrick Lamar. Homesick, A Day to Remember. And Tortured Poets Department, Taylor Swift. We are bringing The Alchemist for your book and a Pebble Ice Maker as your luxury item. There it is. Very solid. I like it.
Thank you. Surprised?
No. I had 2 to 3 Taylor albums for sure. I was a little surprised that there were 4.
I mean, frankly, if I have to choose, I am devastated that I've chosen not The Life of a Showgirl and not 1989 because they have so many bops, and none of them, if I'm thinking about her entire catalog, are my favorite, like my all-time favorites. And particularly The Life of a Showgirl, like if I'm thinking about, well, I'm stranded on a desert island, I have nothing but time. The Life of a Showgirl is like 40 minutes long, right? Like, whereas Tortured Poets is going to take me significantly longer than that to get through because it's 30 songs.
Yeah.
And they're all like 4 minutes of I'm depressed.
Yes. Which is what you want when you're all alone on a desert island.
Right. And then you can have Pebble Ice.
And while you're just eating Pebble Ice. It's so true. There's a thing, since you brought it up, you may or may not give a shit about this, but there's a Training Partners Easter egg that has existed on our social media for a long time that I put there only for you. And it's been true basically since the Instagram started. And it is this. When it got released, I went and grabbed like the Pantene color swatch of the Life of a Showgirl orange.
Yes.
That was all over the branding and stuff.
Right.
You can go back. Every caption we've ever done, the highlight in the caption is the Life of a Showgirl orange.
Wow. What an Easter egg, Justin. Good job. Yeah. I did wonder why you chose orange, and I thought it was because it was a very complementary color to both blue and green.
Well, it also, as I was doing it, I was like, oh, like I don't want to do blue or green because that's going to feel weird. I don't want to do yellow because grow up. I wonder how this would look. I bet this, and we had done some stuff before it came out. Like if you listen to the whole thing, the album came out as we did the podcast. But since it came out and that branding existed, I grabbed it like that week and sorted like the hex code for the color. And that's the only brand color that I have assigned to our stuff.
Wow. You heard it here. Training Partner's official color is The Life of a Showgirl orange.
Which we cannot be sued for because it's just orange. Taylor, back
it's
the
just
fuck
orange.
Off.
Taylor, I love you, and you could buy me a building if you wanted.
Yeah, and I'm not scared of you.
You should be. She even says that in a song. You should be.
Yeah.
Well, this was truly a delight. This might come out while I'm gone.
I have to look at it, but I bet it's going to be around there. Yeah,
it's close. Yeah. Well, if you're listening to this and I've perished, we told you everything was risky. Did it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get an update. I'll do a very sad episode. And then start like roasting you partway through.
That's when you can do your Wheezy cutoff. You can continue Training Partners, but just like dub over like.
Just like pretend you're here and just take a bunch of clips of you being like, well, well, hold on, Wheezy, I got this one. And then like talk about whatever I want to talk about. And then like, clip and you being like, that's a really good point. Yeah, I know. Hold on. I got more to say. Just like the least respectful in memoriam ever.
Right. You have my sign off on that. I think that's hysterical.
As long as it's funny enough. That's all that matters.
Yes. As long anything for the joke, truly.
Legit.
Anything. Team, this has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We'll see you next time.
Later, gang.
It's time for the Training Partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to laugh and learn with our new best friend so bright. It's time for the training partners. Here come your training partners. So smart, so strong, so funny. Let's go with your training partners. We're ready to shine together.